Okay, members, let me proceed. We've noted the comment. I've taken council advice, but since we're still ahead of time in a way, I would like us to finish motion item number 5, which is the financial update. Is the comment on the floor?
Well, the comment, I'm sure.
Yes.
From Nigeria, my comment is not on financial update. So can I continue or?
Is it to do with the agenda item in question? Where
yes, exactly.
Sorry?
It has to do with Alan's comment. I think we have already passed the motion to move the election, and we all agreed, right? So
yes, but
I don't think we need to go back to review back again, right?
I hear you, but in the interest of time, council that I've got means that we could actually take another motion to revert back to the original agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
So, Alan, at the beginning of the meeting, a motion was floated by one of the members in the interest of people who are traveling, and it was carried. However, the advice I have right now is if the floor wishes to, another motion can be taken to revert to the original time. I know that is a time-consuming process, so to satisfy everybody, I'd like us to give a few minutes and take that motion, and so we can proceed. Instead of burning time. Alan, did you have a comment before? Sorry, is that comment to do with the timetable? Is your comment to do with the timetable? Okay, please.
My name is Benjamin Shen, and I'd like to object to the earlier suggestion made by Alan. The elections were actually given well in advance, and during the opening ceremony, the minutes were adopted. So we can't just change it because of that. I don't think because
okay, let's move. Point taken. Alan, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. On a point of order, I believe we have a motion which has been proposed and seconded, and that we should now vote on it. The motion was proposed by Andrew to defer discussion of the financials until later, and to make the election, I'm sorry, I forget the exact wording, but whatever it is, there's a motion on the floor and we can't proceed until we deal with it.
Members, we're actually killing a lot of time in this particular process, and I'm not sure who will benefit from this process. So, Andrew, your motion, which was to change the agenda item again, okay, let me call a vote on Andrew's motion. Andrew, I'm just going to call a vote on your motion, and then we'll proceed. All those in favor of Andrew's motion? All those against Andrew's motion? Okay, Andrew's motion is carried. Okay, so can we now go into the election process?
I have some election slides. Can I bring them up? Can I have them brought up, please? We get to have an election. I have a set of 15 slides. It shouldn't take too long. I'm hoping this can be compressed as quickly as possible.
Alan?
Hello, Alan Barrett. Please may I know in what capacity is Mark standing there?
Mark is standing here as chair of the election committee.
Alan?
All right, thank you. Then on a point of order, I would point out that the bylaws require the election committee to be comprised only of AFRINIC staff and not of anybody who is not part of the staff.
I hear you, and last year precedence was set. The chair of NOMCOM became and was asked to perform the duties of chair of the election committee, and that is what happened last year. Therefore, precedence was set. It's also written in the election guideline, and the bylaws support the mechanism which the election guideline describes.
Alan?
I'm sorry, but I must dwell on this. The guidelines cannot override the bylaws. If the bylaws say that something must be done a certain way, then you can have guidelines that go into a little bit more detail, that's fine. But you can't have guidelines which contradict the bylaws. And if something was done incorrectly last year and you think that set a precedent, I would argue that it doesn't really, that we now notice the mistake and should go back to what the bylaws say.
Can I defer, please, to legal counsel?
I think we'll do that. Sean, can you please wait until we get legal counsel into this point, please? Ashok.
Good afternoon. May I refer Alan to Article 13.2 of the bylaws at page 23 of the booklet, which reads, the election of the directors of the company with which we are concerned shall be carried out in line with the election process approved by the board. Already in the bylaws, there is a process which says that the chairman of the election committee is the chairman of the NOMCOM. It is there. You just check it out.
I think that might be in the guidelines, but I don't think it's in the bylaws.
You're forgetting the fact that I read the bylaws first. The process is in the bylaws, already incorporated.
Oh, that clause, that the board must approve a process. Yes, indeed, but they can't approve something which is contrary to some other clause in the bylaws.
How do you find that it is contrary? In what way it is contrary? I don't have to argue law with you, but just tell me that.
If I can just respond here, because I've got the bylaws in front of me. The definition of the election committee, as per the bylaws, a committee set up under Article 10 of this Constitution, comprising of such staff of AFRINIC designated by the Chief Executive Officer.
The guidelines tells you who the chairman of the election committee is, if I'm not mistaken. And this election process has already been approved by the board.
Except for the fact that Mark is not staff as per the definition of staff found in 18.1, which specifically prohibits a staff member from being qualified as a director unless he is the Chief Executive Officer who is ex officio to the board.
The bylaws have precedence over any legal instrument except the Companies Act. I rest here. Unless we take the matter to court, I'm ready to plead.
Members,
I don't remember hearing any objections yesterday.
Mark. Members, when I do have to make a decision for us to move, as chair, I'm going to take some advice and I'm going to make a decision. the decision I do make for this session could be changed through policy, because we definitely have a policy misfit. But for this session, I am going to take guidance from legal, and then we'll make a decision. Alan, you might come on the side for council as well, but we'll make a decision.
I'll speak to you in private.
Thank you.
Sorry, the one was for.
All right. Thank you for that side discussion. I would now like to propose a special motion to the floor that notwithstanding whether or not there might be a problem here, we allow this election to continue with Mark as chair, and that we address any issues of contradictions between guidelines and bylaws as a completely separate process after this meeting. And so let's not let the current controversy interfere with the election. That is my motion. I'd like to know if I have a second.
I second.
Me too.
Thank you. Okay.
May I continue, Chair?
Please do continue.
And can I assume that everyone is quite happy with that? Thank you. Happy with now.
Hang on. I don't know whether you be the one to do that. I thought the chair was going to do that.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it. Okay. Alan has made a proposal, and it's been seconded by a few people. Can I have a show of hands for those objecting? Can I have a show of hands of those not objecting? Thank you. Mark, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. Oh, was it? Slide number 2. Where's the clicker? Okay, someone's stolen the gadget to move slides on. Okay, the Nominations Committee. The Nominations Committee consists of 4 seats. 1 seat is appointed by the board, and 3 seats come from the community. The board, therefore, calls for volunteers to the community and gets its volunteers like that. If we look at the next slide, please. I don't know where it is. Someone stole it. It's over there. Anyway, duties. The duties are to ensure a satisfactory number of individuals from the African Internet community stand as candidates. Logically, that means more than one and probably less than 5 people per seat. Call for the candidates for all elections. So it's not just this election, but it's also the PDWG co-chair election, and in 6 months' time, there's the NRO ASO election as well. Prescribe criteria and qualifications for eligibility per candidate. The bylaws themselves and the election guidelines provide guidelines on what we are looking for in a candidate. No other criteria have been provided, but we will look at changing that, especially for the non-geo seat. Interview the candidates as and where necessary, and finalize the list of candidates. If we can go to the next slide, please. Who was the NOMCOM? 4 people. We have Sami, who's in the audience, myself. Adam was a candidate and withdrew himself, hence the cross. And I'm afraid I do not have a picture of Leon, who was the 4th person. Next slide, please. I have color-coded this particular slide. We are migrating. We are still in the process of migrating from 12 plus 1 directors down to 9 directors of the board. Grouping it into areas, we have North Africa and West Africa, and seat number 7. These are all conducted at the same time. This year we are green. We have Indian Ocean and Central Africa and seat number 8, which is the other regional independent seat. And then next year we will have seat 5 and seat 6, which is Southern and Eastern Africa. Seat number 9 is CEO, non-elected position. Next slide. The voted for directors hold an office for a 3-year term, 3-year staggered. And the term effectively expires after the 3rd AGMM after their appointment. On expiry of a term, a director is eligible for re-election. So for this session now, for 2014, the following seats are up for re-election. That is Indian Ocean, Central Africa, and the new regional independent seat, seat number 8. For Indian Ocean, we have 2 candidates standing. Those 2 candidates are Chris Seaborn and SM, as I will call him. For Central Africa, we have 3 people. Just go back a step quickly. Of Indian Ocean, I believe Chris is here, and SM is not here, and he's asked me to read some remarks for him. For Central Africa, we have 3 people. 2 are directors restanding, which is Christian and Janvier, and a new person, Tony. And I believe Tony's in the audience. Yes? Is he in the audience? He's around some... Oh, okay, sorry. So all 3 people are here. For the regional independent seat, we have 4 people. We have Andrew, who I'm pretty sure is in the audience. We have Mubarak, who's in the audience, yes. We have a gentleman from Madagascar, who I believe is not here. And we have Serge from DRC. Is Serge here? Okay, so we have 3 out of 4 of the people here. Who can vote? The community is made up of, or the voting community membership is made up of 3 different types of members. At the moment, full board members can all vote in their own capacity as an existing board member. And then resource members who are in good standing, i.e. there is nothing financially outstanding and things like RSAs, etc. are all signed. So there are two types of members that can vote. How can a resource member vote? They can, via the MyAfrinix system, produce a proxy, which then goes on to be carried forward as a ballot, is turned into a ballot. You can, as a resource member, use electronic voting only, or you can be here in person and pick up a ballot if you, again, are the registered contact for a resource member. You should have registered your desire to vote, whether it's via proxy or direct ballot. The ballots will be collected, I presume, from the desk down the front to the right of me, to the left of you. You will have to show your ID unless you're a well-known entity, I guess. You should show your ID. When you have collected your ballots, you will mark one candidate. You may mark one candidate per region. You may also mark no one if you do not wish anyone in that region to be chosen from your point of view. Each registered voter will be called by a member organisation to come forward and deposit their ballots in the ballot box. The ballot box is the clear cube to my right. And that is it. It should be short, sweet, and simple. As our tradition goes, we will invite members of other RIRs to come and do the physical ballot counting. There are also 3 trustees, the CEO, our legal counsel, and myself, who have codes so that we can open up the electronic voting. This has not been done yet. This will happen during the process of counting of the paper ballots. Oh, yes. And before we do this, what we need now is we would like the candidates for the particular areas to come up and present themselves. I will call them up. And so I'm going to start with the Indian Ocean people. So I would very much, I guess, like Chris Seaburn to come up, and you will be able to present yourself in 2 minutes, and there may be 2 minutes of questioning. And I'll read SMs, yeah. You want me to start with SM? You happy? Yeah, you really just get all right.
So after the candidates speak, please come up for people to give their comments and testimony.
In the process of NOMSCOM's work, after we had an idea of who was going to be standing, in other words, the final slate had been finished, 2 further questions were asked of every candidate. And the question number 1 was, if you are elected, what do you hope to personally accomplish? And in very fine print from SM, I would ensure that there are adequate procedures in place to act as checks and balances for good governance. I would address the fiduciary duty by monitoring the budget forecasts and assessing the company's performance so that it meets the objectives which have been set. I would like to see more improvement in the quality of information provided to members so that the membership can access the work of the company and the services it provides. I think that metrics should be published and that there is regular reporting that members have a better idea of what to expect in terms of service delivery. Question number 2, what business management and leadership skills will you bring to the board? Answer, I have the knowledge and experience of the business environment and an understanding of the financial and regulatory aspects in the jurisdiction in which the company operates. I analyze issues and listen to the diverse options before making an informed decision. I am committed to carrying the duties and responsibilities I am assigned with diligence. That is SM. Can I please have Chris now? Oh.
Thanks, Mark. Well, as we're talking about interest of time, I'm just going to try and be very short and sweet, basically. A lot of those questions I've already replied, and I think it's already on the website. Basically, well, I'm Chris. I'm from Mauritius, obviously, and I stand for re-election, basically, because I was already alternate. Now I'm standing for re-election as that seat. One of the points which was important for me actually coming up here was actually to be working in the region. So that's one of the reasons I think my primary and myself, and we agreed at some point to actually say, okay, we're going to be one candidate. So that was my primary. To simplify things, I go by one of the things that actually Kennedy actually said a couple of years back, which is, don't expect much, well, I'm actually off. Don't expect, oh, I'm losing it. Well, basically, I'll put it that way. I'd rather work for the community. Okay, I'm here to propose my service. I'm here. I tried my best over the past 3 years to do what I thought was best in interest. We know there's a lot to be done, and obviously we've seen some of the results. The challenges are always there, and the community is changing. The dynamics are actually also there. So my take at is I need to recognize some of the things that we can actually improve. I've spent the 3 years trying to really understand this organization, seriously. And I remember 3 years back when I joined, I was like new, but obviously over the past few years, you start to understand exactly what's going on. And you have to give credit. You have to understand and learn how to do it. That's really what I wanted to say. Mark?
Thank you very much, Chris. That's 2 minutes. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions for Chris? If not, then I will move on to the next. Okay, I'm going to call these people up in order. Tony, would you like to come up and do 2 minutes, please? Now, come. And Christian, can you make yourself ready? 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, all of you, and good afternoon. My name is Tony Antoine. I'm working to Camtel, Cameroon Telecommunications, for 14 years today, since the year 2000. So I was working internally, and now I decide to come up. And Camtel is a particular environment that is very close to the government. So things are not easy. So I have a strategy to let my people move. They need someone to have a voice, an official voice. And the general manager of Cameroon Telecommunications, who nominated me personally, is waiting. And waiting for my report. And my report is your answer today. So I want to be involved strongly and personally to increase the number of LIS in Cameroon. So with my long experience, I be in touch with many ISP. I encourage many of us to become a member of Afrinic. Many of them was not dealing with Afrinic. They come only to Camtel, and they think that Camtel is the biggest structure in Africa, and I let them know that they can become members. Many of us has done that, and many are still waiting. So, and the second point is that I want to involve my organization, Camtel, to take part strongly and to participate effectively to the debate of the Afrinic. So, I thank you very much, and I'm waiting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, if you stay there. Are there any questions for Tony?
Yes.
We have a question for Tony. The question and answer session should be limited to 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Tony. And thank you to the person that nominated you. However, I want to know how your involvement within Afrinic has been. And when you say you want to participate within Afrinic, is board membership the only way you think you could participate within Afrinic? Thank you.
Okay. If I understand my speech.
By the way, Mr. Chair, may I also suggest that if he prefers to use his language, he'll be allowed to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ok, je peux donc parler en français. Donc,
talk in French. The environment in which I'm working in Cameroon is complex. This environment is complex. It is a state-owned company. The procedures are not easy. In order to participate for the summit such as this one in Djibouti, we have to get a real reason to come here. I was just a candidate, and that's why I came here. The general director encouraged us to be part of the international organization. And when we have a place in those organizations, we have a voice. And that is why I presented myself as a candidate. I was encouraged by the general director of my company. Merci beaucoup. Christian? Chris?
The question is
Christian? Merci. Bon après-midi. Tanzanie est membre d'Afrique. Vous m'avez élu pour servir votre intérêt. Vous m'avez bien sûr mis un membre alternatif. J'ai de l'expérience et j'attends votre vote pour m'aider et aider bien sûr la communauté à atteindre l'objectif. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We have supported me to be an alternate director. I used my energy and youth. I have still the energy, and I have experience also, and I think with this experience I am ready to serve the community as I always did. Est-ce que vous avez des questions pour Christian? English. Il faut noter que la question qui a été demandée, Christian n'a pas pu répondre au temps voulu. Bon, chers amis, je vais bien sûr parler français. Si vous pouvez bien sûr prendre vos casques. Take your headphone. This year I came back, and you know that it's in Tanzania. I promised you that we will meet in Yaoundé in Central Africa. This was at the level of the region, so that I can be informed about the activities of Afrinica. At the level of the board, we had also a mission during the 3 years. We have the committee of audit bylaws, and we brought contributions to those committees. And I'm asking once again your vote so that we can serve best, in the best way. Et il y a d'autres questions pour janvier? Y a-t-il d'autres? Maintenant, nous avons bien sûr pour les candidats de région indépendante. Andrew, est-ce que vous pouvez venir? Pour moi, je travaillais dans les communautés académiques et bien sûr, à partir de là, je suis parti à l'environnement commercial pour Liquid Group. J'ai un équilibre, je vais ramener un équilibre que je pense être utile, une balance entre le secteur commercial et le secteur académique dans la région. Et il y a beaucoup, bien sûr, de choses qu'on a soulevées en ce qui concerne les finances. Et je veux dire que toutes ces questions doivent être réglées. Il faudrait qu'il y ait une transparence et c'est pour cela que j'aimerais bien être dans ce conseil pour qu'il y ait une responsabilisation, une transparence. Merci beaucoup pour votre vote. Est-ce qu'il y a des questions pour Andrew? Barry? Vous avez 2 minutes. I am Boubacar Bari. I'm Director General of the Regional Research and Education for Western and Central Africa. I am part of the community, African community, during 20 years. It is a community that I know very well, and in the framework of the implementation of AIS14 and the collaboration between the different components of this community. I'm coordinating the meeting of AFREN. I accepted the nomination to be a part of the council, the board, and I think that I can bring my experience. That is why I accepted the nomination. And if I have the rest of the community, I will bring my experience. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui ont des questions parmi l'audience? Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui ont des questions? Le jeune homme de Madagascar n'est pas dans l'audience. Et est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un? Il y a quelqu'un, bien sûr. Il n'y a pas de vidéo, bien sûr, de ce gentleman en question. Est-ce que quelqu'un voudrait parler pour sa part? Il n'y a pas de main levée. Nous avons bien sûr Serge dernier. Est-ce que vous pouvez venir, Serge? Serge, est-ce que vous pouvez venir? Vous avez 2 minutes. Good afternoon. I'm Serge Mumba. I am from the DRC and I am engineer for the telecoms. I am working 4 years in the familiarization of the antique in my country. It is for me an opportunity, and I would like to share my conviction that Africa is evolving and is creating a real value added, and our universities are playing a great role in this mutation. I think I believe in you, in my community. I believe in the value of the African universities, and I would like you to vote, and I'm asking you to support. I'm asking you to support Dr. Abubakar Bari, which represent this community, and it is high time for us to put the African University in its right place. Merci beaucoup. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions pour ce gentleman? J'assume qu'il n'y a pas de questions. Cela conclut bien sûr à la section interview du candidat. Et maintenant, il faudra qu'il y ait les mécanismes de chercher bien sûr le bulletin de vote.
Yes, so the way we're going to proceed, your name will be called out along with your affiliations or the members that you're supposed to be voting for, or those that appointed you as their proxy. We hand you over your ballot or ballots, and you walk over to the ballot box and cast your ballot, cast your vote. Simple and easy. Any questions? Hearing none, let's proceed. Ale Aina, you are voting on behalf of Wi-Fi. Come pick your ballot, please. That's okay, I know you, Ale. Next, that's Adam Nelson for Kili and Aminata Garba, an Afrodeck board member.
Excuse me, Alan. We would prefer not to wander
Ale, can you please come over here and cast your ballot right over there? Just to repeat, the ballot box is right there. It's that transparent box right right to the left of the stage. So if you get your ballot, yes, sorry, go over there to the other table to get it stamped, and then go to the box and cast your ballot right away. Thank you.
Ernest, can you please move to that side so they can use this for the voting, so we don't have a congestion, please? I am sorry for interrupting. If you please move to where the staging is or away to this side so people can use the table for voting. The podium, yeah.
We don't have a mobile microphone, so I'll just right here. Okay, so next, Andrew Arston, please come pick your ballots on behalf of the University of the Free State and Northwest University. Thank you. Next, that will be Badru Ntege, 2 ballots on behalf of Afronic Board and NFT Consult. Next, Barry Apudo, 2 ballots for KIXP and TESPOC. Badru, I did not see Badru. Next would be Ben Roberts. Ben Roberts will have 7 ballots on behalf of Liquid Telecom Kenya, Yeo Africa, Infocom Limited, Liquid Telecom Operations, CEC Liquid Telecom, Zimbabwe Online, and Liquid Telecom Rwanda. That's 7. And next will be Benjamin Eshun and Christian Bope. Benjamin Eshun. Benjamin Eshun has 3 ballots on behalf of the AAU, Warid Congo, and Ahmadu Bello University. Actually, 4 votes. There is also ITM. Christian Bope, registered member. Registered board member, yeah. That's oh. Frank Habecht for TISPA, Simbanet, and Aptus. Then Haitham Ernakar and Heng Lu. So Frank Habecht, 3 ballots. Yeah, that would be. For? Post newspapers, it's somebody else. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I'll have to check. Okay. Ismail Otban Ali for Djibouti Telecom, and J. Walubengo, board. James Mwasiola, Habari Node. Sorry. Okay. Rita Mulinde. Rita Mulinde for Corky, Kenya Web, CyberSmart, Orange, and Extranet. That's 5. Just a moment. Very well, Rita. Ismail Otban Ali. Did I? I gave you. I did not take you, sorry. What is this one? John Bugua for DataNet and WebRunner. Jules Ngamba for Comtel. Chris Siban and Mark Erkins. Where is John Bugua? You have 2 votes for DataNet and WebRunner. Jules Ngamba for Comtel. Jules Ngamba for Comtel. You are not Jules Ngamba. Okay, so he will not vote. Chris Siban. Mark Erkins. Yes. Just like with the ticking then. Sorry. Next is Mohammed Hussein Adil and Ni Kwaina. Mohammed Hussein Adil for Darcom Somalia, Ni Kwaina for Ghana.com. Muhammad Hussein Adil. Where is Muhammad Hussein Adil? Ni Kwaina for Ghana.com. Nulaye Janvier, 2 ballots as a registered member, registered board member, registered member and RGNU. Nishar Gobodan, representing Internet Technologies Namibia, Post Newspapers, and Zamnet. Yeah, sure. Omo Oaya.
Just open it and see who the name is.
Just open and see who it is. Omo Oaya, 7 for Wakren, EcoConnect, University of Dakar, University of Abuja, AUPELF, Zamren, and the University of St. Louis, Senegal. Pamphile Mubagna Benzes. Pamphile Mubagna Benzes for Gabon Telecom, and Paulos Nyirenda for as a registered board member, NIC Malawi and Malawi Internet Exchange Point. So are you Pamphile? Okay, that's just one. Sami Hassan Omer Salih for the Sudan IXP, Sean Ojedeji, Federal University of Oye Ekiti, just one. Got a proxy?
Just Sudan.
That's the only one. Remember the other one was not valid?
Yes. No, that's the only one.
Sean, take off Sean. We can check that later, but we have. Did you not just remember you came with? Sunday for Lion, 2 ballots as a registered member, and for NIRA. Then Victoria Rutaraka, 3 for Obafemi Awolowo University, ISPA DRC, Microcom SPRL. Sunday, yeah. Victoria Rutaraka, where is Victoria Rutaraka? How many? 3. Looks like her. Thank you. Victus Aborogu 2 for Oasis SPRL and Sedesok SBL. He doesn't look like the guy. So that is all. If you registered and your name has not been read out, you're free to come and we cross-check the records on which you registered to see if you were there. Thank you. No, thank you. Not allowed. Just give me a moment, I can get the hard pictures.
You know that your votes have been captured on camera, right? No.
hotel has IP cameras. You know what I do, right? Yeah.
Do you manage to scan those cameras?
Yeah, of course. So, especially the IP. They actually have really nice infrastructure. They have really nice infrastructure. I mean, if you consider this hotel, how many APs have you got in this hotel?
So many. 100?
147. I counted 147 APs.
Oh. This hotel is the company behind this is Dubai World.
Well, they pay for the hotel, but the Kempinski.
Yes, it's a franchise.
And this hotel's got really cool infrastructure. So to get like all the network stuff working, I mean, you go to the hotel, usually the guys say, yes, don't worry, you know, we're pre-cable, we've got you can just, and every hotel I have gone to, I end up fixing the infrastructure, whether it's fixing the cabling in the wall, here we do nothing. We help the guy understand some of his topology better, but in terms of fixing infrastructure, oh no, he's 5 gigahertz radios were all switched off, and then we discovered that the signal is really, really low. So if you'll see AIS14. And when we went to investigate, it turns out that when they installed the APs, they installed the APs with a 2.4 radio module and the 2.4 aerials installed. None of these APs have 5 gigahertz radio, so 5 gigahertz band has been largely because there's no other, it's too low dB. That's the only fix we've done. Otherwise, they've got really cool infrastructure. And the guy here knows what he does. He's got diagrams of what he's doing. You ask him to do something, he'll pull up something. This is what I have to do, this is what it was like. So he works in Notepad. I always teach my students. You work in Notepad and then you commit later. I kid you, if I was still hiring, I would hire him. He needs a bit of experience. So pretty work ethic wise, his work process, he's got the right process.
Which kind of radios are we?
They have Cisco 1242s. They're old. 1242s are now 7 years old, I guess. 7, 8 years old.
No, but
they're still good ages.
More than 100.
He's got 147.
That's a very good coverage.
Well, in fact, if I was running it, you'd have had Wi-Fi no.
So, Sami, I hope we are clear on the other ballot that you thought you were entitled to that you did not get. Yeah. Okay.
If you came to Tanzania, you would have had IPv6 in you. When was the last one? In Lusaka. You didn't get IPv6 in you. You get IPv6 into the hotel rooms. Well, actually, we didn't dig into the hotel rooms. We illegally bridged the hotel Wi-Fi network with our network, and we leaked 6 to 4 to the hotel network so that you could get internet access using our bandwidth. We installed a 6 to 4 translator in Slovenia, so it looked like all your traffic would look like it's going through Slovenia. Who cares? You're using our bandwidth.
And question again,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I was from the summit, but I didn't see the hotel, so
I believe the voting is now closed. There is coffee outside, I hope. In the meantime, we would like Ingrid to come help count, and a gentleman from APNIC. Do we have any other members of any other RIRs left? You don't count, no. Okay, then we will look at counting. Like I said, everyone is welcome to stay where you are, seated, etc., so you can see what happens up front, and there will be the paper count commencing.
So I'm an IT. I see SM close to IT, and I see sometimes SM is an idiot, and people tell him you're an idiot. Sometimes SM asks good questions, so he points to good procedural way of doing something, and it's valid. So if I have to judge his participation to get stuff done based on what I can see him doing IT.
While the paper tally is being done, the 3 trustees, and we're going to hijack the pretty one here, we're going to go into another room and we're going to do the electronic tallying. Is there a person who is not a member of the Afrinic region who can assist with the poor gentleman at the front with counting? They've all gone.
Wait 5 minutes. I don't know how long is the electronic thing taking.
Mr. Chair, may I please make a comment, please?
Please.
During the last AGM, I remember coming to the floor to suggest that the unlocking of the electronic vote should be an event in the presence of the members. So I think if they will unlock, they should come and unlock here. Thank you.
I believe there's a logistical reason why this cannot happen. I would prefer Adil if he could explain the logistics behind that.
The unlocking is done from the different trustees' computer directly, and we cannot project the 3 computers at the same time. The second thing is that we are in the new guideline, there is a provision made for observer to be there when the unlocking is done, and observer from the other area, as we do for the counting of the physical ballot, we'll do the same thing for the electronic tally. So that it holds the whole transparency, because even if we sit there and do it, it doesn't show anything because people will be doing it from their computer directly.
So, hi everybody. There is a person for the bus. Those who are leaving today and who should be at the airport in 2 hours, the bus is waiting for you. If not, he's leaving. Anybody who should be leaving? No?